support comes from the St. Louis Chamber Chorus. Season 68 concludes at John Burroughs at 3 p.m. on May 26th with the United Nations commissioned Voices of Today by composer Benjamin Britten, featuring youth and adult singers. Tickets at chamberchorus.org.
This is St. Louis on the Air from St. Louis Public Radio. I'm Elaine Cha. If you didn't already know, today is National Chocolate Chip Day. That means it's a sweetly fitting time to talk about, you guessed it, cookies. And right here in St. Louis, the young Turner sisters, Maya, age 11, and Nadia, age 13, are baking up a few different kinds of cookies and selling them as the owners of their very own business, the University City-based Chocolate Girls Cookies, LLC. So joining us now to share about their journey from cookie dough to college dough and talk tips for making chocolate chip cookies that satisfy even the toughest critics, we welcome the sisters themselves. Nadia and Maya Turner, welcome to St. Louis on the Air.
Thank you for having us.
So let's go right back to the beginning. When did you bake your very first batch of cookies ever, Maya?
Well, it's kind of hard to remember because we've been baking ever since we were really little. Mm-hmm. And my mom used to bake us a lot of batches of cookies.
Uh-huh. And Nadia, were they mostly chocolate chip cookies? Were there other kinds?
They were mostly chocolate chip until we found out like a different type of cookie, and we like experimented with different type of stuff, and it really made this one particular cookie, and it was so delicious.
Okay, so whose recipe was it that you were using for that delicious cookie, Maya?
So we were using our mom's, and sometimes our dad would like tweak some like recipes, put some other stuff in it.
Yeah. And that recipe that your mother was using, Nadia, do you know where it came from?
It came from our great-great-grandmother. She passed away, sadly, but it came from her great-great-grandmother.
Mm-hmm. And which cookie was it that was just the standout cookie?
It was mainly the chocolate chip cookie because we used like different type of chips, so we experimented.
Okay, we're going to get to that. We also want to invite all you cookie monsters out there into our conversation. What sets a good chocolate chip cookie apart from a truly great one? If you think your own recipe's the pinnacle of chocolate chip cookie perfection, where did it come from and how did it get to you? Give us a call at 314-382-8255. That's 314-382-TALK. You can also send us an email at talk@stlpr.org. I want to introduce another voice into the conversation, and that's the voice of Michael Turner, who is dad and manager for Maya and Nadia's enterprise, Chocolate Girls Cookies, LLC. Welcome to the show, Michael.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.
So Maya mentioned that you did some tweaks with the recipes as well. What were some of the suggestions that you made that have made it into what people taste today?
Well, only thing I did was taste the cookies and told them to take certain things out. This is a little too hard. You might want to try this. Just like it's just experimental. Mm-hmm. That's the main thing I did, just experimental.
Mm-hmm. Was there a scorecard or some rubric that you were following in order to make notes about those things that were working and that weren't, Maya?
So we didn't keep track of that, but we did just have some testers, our family, and sometimes we would go up to our dad's job and pass out samples, and a lot of people were like, this is really good.
And was that sort of the sign, Nadia, that these were cookies that were worth doing something more with?
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. What was it that made you feel like the cookie was good enough to sell, Nadia?
Well, before we even thought of cookie business, my mom would give cookies to her coworkers at PBS.
Right.
So And then since they liked them, we start passing them out for other people to try. Like my old school, New City School, they were our first big customer, and they all loved it.
Okay.
So that was when we decided to start our own
Yeah. And what kind of feedback were you getting about the cookies?
Well, we just went to this thing on Saturday. They're like, the cookie was so good I couldn't stop eating it.
Oh, okay.
So
That's
yeah.
always good. And from the standpoint of parent, was there anything in particular that you all were talking about as a family that made it feel like this is a good time for this to be made into a business?
To be honest with you, we were just fans of Shark Tank, and we seen other kid entrepreneurs on there. And we thought we had something just based on the taste and the feedback that we had. It was no particular time that we was looking at. It was just that since we was passing out cookies, and also we passed out cookies at my job, and the feedback I got from my job as well, I had like a Ziploc bag, and a guy cupped his hands and asked for the crumbs.
Oh.
And that's when I was like, girls, we're like really onto something.
Right.
But with the question in hand, with the particular time, we didn't have a particular time in hand. It was just that we just knew we had something at that time and moment.
Right.
So yeah, that's all.
And I do want to know a little bit more about the time and moment, because you are now, Nadia, 13, Maya, you're 11, and this business has been up for a few years. So you were really young when this started, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
What was it about the idea of doing this as a business that was appealing to you?
Well, it's just that I really want it to be different, and that there was like no kids at my school who had their own business, and I like want it to be one of the first. And we watched Shark Tank, as like my dad said, and we saw kids on there, and I was like, I wanted to be in Shark Tank. So yeah.
So let's talk about the chip part of the cookies. Nadia, you mentioned that you were sort of experimenting with different ones. Are you willing to share with us what chips you use, or is there something that you can tell us about the chips themselves that make them so good in the cookies that you bake?
Well, we can't tell you the exact chocolate chip ingredient, but like we'll use like different types of chocolate chips to find like the savory and sweet instead of just having just sweet, and it'll be too sweet.
Okay.
So
So when
yeah.
you say savory, were you adding, it's very popular to add like sea salt and that sort of thing. Is that something that you tried? No?
It's like different types of chocolate chips.
Okay, different types. Did you ever disagree about the chips as a family, as the two of you as sisters?
Sometimes
Yeah.
it'll be like ultrally sweet, so then we like kind of brought it down to a different type of level.
Right, right. So, I mean, what is it that makes a good cookie? Michael, from your perspective, you talked about your coworkers, eating the crumbs. What is it, though, that makes this cookie that your daughters are making sort of stand apart from others?
From what they told me, made with a lot of love. That's number one. But we make sure we use the good ingredients, like the sugar and stuff. We just don't use any type of sugars and stuff like that, because all sugar doesn't taste the same.
Oh,
just like
yes.
chocolate chips. All chocolate chips don't taste the same. The butter and stuff like that, all that, it's different taste. So that's why we did our experiment to taste all the different types of sugars that you had in the grocery stores, at the Costco, at the Sam's. We order stuff online online and everything to make sure this is the perfect one right here. So yeah.
So we want to invite you again to this conversation as we're talking about good cookies, great cookies, and the components. What sets your cookie apart from others? Why is it truly great rather than just good? Give us a call at 314-382-8255. That's 382-TALK. You can also send us an email at talk@stlpr.org. Let's talk a little bit about the name of the company, Chocolate Girls Cookies. Nadia, the name, is this something that you came up with pretty easily, or were there other ones that you were considering?
It took some time, took a few days to figure it out. But yeah, reason why I chose this name because we all love chocolate chip cookies, and so we went with Chocolate Girls Cookies.
And is there some other reason from the parents' perspective, Michael, that choosing Chocolate Girls Cookies seemed like the right way to go?
Well, because just like Nadia just said, she thought of it, and it sound better because the other names we came up with, it didn't sound as great. We came up with Turner Girl Cookies, Nadia and Maya Cookies, and when Nadia said, "How about Chocolate Girl Cookies? We like chocolate chip cookies." I like, bingo.
Okay.
That's it right there, and then the rest is history.
Right. And no one else had claimed that name?
No, we smart enough. We Googled, we looked on the USPTO, United States Patent Trademark website to make sure the name wasn't taken, and went through a lawyer to make sure everything was all okay, and that's how we got the name.
Yeah. So as part of this business, I understand that each of you as sisters have different skills and talents that make this business really work. So what is the role, Maya, that you play?
So the role that I play was, well, I like to, I'm really talkative, and I'm like a salesperson.
Okay.
And yeah.
So what are some of the things that you tell people when you're introducing your product?
So I usually would just pass out cards, and so then I would tell them that we're in 2 hospitals and where we're at, and we would say we're the first cookie company to be in a movie theater.
Mm-hmm. And what hospitals are they?
Barnes Jewish Hospital and Children's Hospital, but
Mike?
Well, we was just at Children's Hospital, but the thing is, we're not there anymore due to the increase of products and stuff like that. And
Sure.
it was about the pricing of it all, but we're still in we're still in BJC gift shop right there.
Right.
But we're not in Children's Hospital anymore because we couldn't come to a conclusion on the price settings and stuff like that.
Right.
Because
Well, and that is the reality of running any kind of business, right?
It comes with the territory.
Mm-hmm. So we do have a call from Pat in Brentwood who has a question. Pat, welcome to St. Louis on the Air.
Hi. Yeah, actually I have a couple of questions for the cookie makers. One is, I understand that if you're going to be selling the cookies, you have to have a commercial kitchen that's been inspected. So I wonder how you get around that, or if you already do that. And second question to them is, I wonder what kind of fat you use in your cookies. Do you use all butter, or do you use a mix of butter and shortening, or all shortening? The reason I ask is because I like to make cookies too, and I make mine with all butter. And someone I know makes them with all butter with a little addition of sour cream, and hers are better than mine.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there are some looks here. Pat, thank you so much for those questions. Let's go first with the fat question. So is butter better, Nadia or Maya?
To me,
Uh-huh.
I think butter's better.
Okay.
I never tried it with sour cream, but
Does that sound a little strange to you?
yes.
Yeah, maybe worth a go. And so the second question, which was Pat's first, about where the cookies are baked. Maya, where does the baking actually happen?
So we have a commercial kitchen, and it's like downtown, and yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, I can tell you this, when we first started, we started out of our house. Of course, it's like any other business, started out of our house. Out there, give you a jewel, some people like to call. There's a law out there called food cottage law.
Right.
Food cottage law, you can make things at your house and be totally legal when you first start a business. But when you start getting when you start growing, of course you need more than just your house, your home oven. So we do have a commercial kitchen we make our cookies out of downtown. You have to go through the health department, of course, go through all the procedures to get everything legal, and that's how we got into the children's and to the 2 movie theaters and stuff like that. Even a restaurant we have, but we deliver to a restaurant called In the Loop, and that's in the Del Mar Loop. But that's how we went by to get the commercial restaurant. I mean, not restaurant, but kitchen.
Kitchens, right. So there are a lot of ducks to keep in order or chips to keep in order. As business owners, what are some new skills maybe that you have picked up? Nadia?
Well, cooking skills, definitely, because when you're little, the adults usually do a lot of the work. But, like, as you grew on, we learned how to measure, put stuff inside the oven with parent supervision.
Okay, sure.
And stuff like that.
And when is it that you do the baking? Is it after school, on weekends, Maya?
We usually do it on weekends, but if we have homework, our parents would take 50% of the load off of us, and once we get finished, we would help them.
So how do you get paid? Do you get paid in cookies, Mike?
Well, I try to teach the girls actually with the money that we have. Of course, it goes for college, but also I try to teach them how to invest. They have their own little small investment account that we got set up.
Sure.
They know about investments. They know what to invest in, like what's the sure thing to invest in, and watch their money grow and stuff like that. So, like I said, a little bit we do that for their future as well. But yes, and also some of it goes to what you see in her.
Right. And
go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'd like to actually look at that because you're pointing. This is not something that people can see, but you all came in wearing matching white hoodies, and there's a design there. And Nadia, I believe you're the one who created that design, right? Tell us about it. What does it look like?
It's very colorful. We have cookies as the O's, but it says chocolate girls cookies. It's purple and pink, and then we have a ribbon for what's it called? Breast cancer awareness,
right?
For the L in chocolate.
And how did that become part of your company logo?
Because our grandmother passed away from breast cancer awareness, so we put it in our hoodie, and we donate some money to breast cancer awareness.
So you're creating dough for college, as we said, but also contributing to causes. So as far as the future goes, what is it that you're hoping Chocolate Girls cookies will be in the future, Maya?
So I'm hoping that we would have our own factory, and that it expands to all 50. The whole country. So
all 50 states.
Yeah.
So big dreams then. And is baking somehow part of what you'd like to do in the future, Nadia?
Yes, I think it's very, very fun because you're creating your own creation and experimenting with your own creation.
Yeah. So what are the chances we're going to see you all on Shark Tank in the future?
Well, we don't know yet. Okay. To be honest, we don't know yet because, it takes some time to get on Shark Tank. But we don't know yet. That's up in the air. We might not even be on Shark Tank. We might just be making it on our own while getting partners and stuff like that. We don't know.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Okay. And hopefully we will see more of your cookies at different places around town and in other states as well. Maya and Nadia Turner are the young U City sisters behind Chocolate Girls Cookies, and Michael Turner is the dad and manager with Chocolate Girls Cookies. Thank you all for joining us today and for taking time out of your school day.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
This episode was produced by Elaine Shaw.
Our executive producer is Alex Hoyer.
St. Louis on the Air is a production of St. Louis Public Radio. Understanding starts here.
Do you find yourself regularly listening to episodes of St. Louis on the Air? Suggest us to a friend you think might enjoy our conversations, and leave us a review and rating on Apple Podcasts on the App Store. It's the simplest way to help people discover our show. Thank you.
St. Louis Public Radio is a member-supported service of the University of Missouri St. Louis.
Support comes from the Missouri Forest Products Association, providing more than 41,000 jobs in the production of wood pallets, railroad ties, white oak barrels, hardwood floors, and more. Details at choosewood.com.